Hello and welcome to all. Today we are going to talk to you about the Ivory Coast and the specificities of this beautiful African country. So, if you want to know the 99 things that only happen in Ivory Coast, get ready and watch the video until the end. Ivory Coast borders 5 countries: Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Liberia, and Guinea. The Ivorian head of state is Alassane Ouattara, and he has been the head of the country since 2011, running for his 3rd term in 2021. Ivory Coast was a French protectorate from 1843, then became a full French colony in 1893. The country of elephants will eventually gain its independence by electing its first president of the Republic, Félix Houphouët-Boigny, on August 7, 1960. The currency in use in Ivory Coast is the CFA franc, which is the official currency of the 8 member states of the West African Economic and Monetary Union. The most widely practiced religions in Ivory Coast are Islam at 42.9% and Christianity at 33.9%, of which 17.2% are Catholic and 11.8% are evangelical. The national anthem of the Republic of Ivory Coast is called La Abidjanaise and was officially adopted in 1960, just after the country's independence. Its lyrics, written by Abbé Pierre-Marie Coty, patriotically emphasize the values of Ivorians such as peace, brotherhood, and dignity. With a total area of 322,462 square kilometers, Côte d'Ivoire has only a small maritime facade of 520 kilometers on the Atlantic Ocean, which does not prevent it from having one of the most beautiful beaches of the African continent, like Dagbego or Basam. Ivory Coast is characterized by a very humid equatorial climate with abundant rainfall and an average annual temperature of 26.1 Celsius. Ivory Coast had a population of just over 28 million in 2021. Ivory Coast is a full member of the International Organization of the Francophonie, and some Ivorian cities and towns such as Abidjan or Yamoussoukro are also part of the International Association of Francophone Mayors. The name of Ivory Coast comes from the French translation of its name in Portuguese, Costa de Morfim, which was given to it by the Portuguese sailors and traders. The official language of the Ivory Coast is French, but there are also some 70 different languages and dialects that are used every day, mainly in the rural areas of the country. Although almost all of the country's institutions are located in Abidjan, Yamoussoukro is the real administrative and political capital of Ivory Coast. The coup de Cal is a musical genre popular in the years 2000 and 2010 in Ivory Coast and adopted by teenagers of these decades. Doug Saga, whose real name is Stephanie Hamido Dukori, is often considered the pioneer of the coup de Cal that he has largely contributed to popularize first in Ivory Coast and then across Europe with his group, the Ivorian Jet Set. The traditional Ivorian cuisine is extremely rich and varied, thanks in large part to the contribution of the multitude of ethnic groups that make up the population of the country. The aloko is a traditional dish very appreciated in Ivory Coast, based on plantain fried in palm oil. The Garba is one of the most popular dishes in Ivory Coast, which is mainly found in small gar-goats held by cooks of the Hausa ethnic group. This delicious dish is made of cassava, semolina, and small pieces of fried tuna, accompanied by freshly chopped chilies and other spices. The jungli is one of the most famous sauces of the Ivory Coast, whose main ingredient is dry okra powder. This popular sauce is often served with rice or as an accompaniment to more elaborate dishes. Although generally extremely spicy, the Ivorian gastronomy also has some very sweet desserts, such as bofloto, delicious sugar fritters, or the famous Ivorian sugar cake. The Ivorian music is very rhythmic and is composed of several musical trends, such as reggae, zigbithi, zouglou, or even the famous coup de Cal. One of the most emblematic musicians of the Ivory Coast and reggae in general is undoubtedly the fabulous Rastafarian Alpha Blondy, whose most famous songs such as Brigadier Sabari are known worldwide. The Ivorian DJ Arafat was considered one of the precursors of the movement of coup d'état, which he had also been the champion in sub-Saharan Africa and the world until his death, which occurred on August 12, 2019 in Abidjan. Occupying an area of nearly 130 hectares in the heart of the capital Yamoussoukro, the Basilica Our Lady of Peace is the largest and most spacious basilica in the world. Ivorian literature is very rich and varied, and among the most famous and recognized authors of letters. We can count Bernard Dadi, Aki Loba, and Amadou Kourouma. The latter had moreover obtained the prestigious Prix du Livre Inter in 1998 for his novel Les Soleils des Indépendances, one of the greatest classics of African literature. St. Paul's Cathedral, located in Abidjan, has a surprising architecture with a building of 4,200 meters squared in a triangular shape and a curious structure in reinforced concrete which gives it an appearance of a sail or suspended hammock. The Tai National Park, located in the west of the country and extending over 4,500 square kilometers around Mount Ninikui, is home to one of the last primary forests on the planet. The Marahou National Park is one of the 8 major national parks of Ivory Coast with a total area of over 101,000 hectares. It is also one of the richest in terms of biodiversity, with an extremely varied fauna and flora. The Ivory Coast is by far the largest producer of cocoa beans in the world, with more than 2 million tons in 2017, or 39% of the world production. This means that each bar of chocolate sold in the world contains at least 10% Ivorian cocoa. Classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Grand Basam Lighthouse is one of the most emblematic historical monuments of Ivory Coast. It was built in 1913 and was put into service in 1915, replacing an inefficient fixed light installed on a metal tower. The Fort of Dabou, also known as Fort Binger or Fort Faidherbe, is the oldest French military building in Côte d'Ivoire. It was built in only 10 days by Commander Faidherbe and was inaugurated with great pomp and ceremony on October 10, 1853. Thanks to its forests that stretch as far as the eye can see, wood is by far the most abundant natural resource in Ivory Coast. The country exports more wood each year than Brazil, a large part of whose territory is, however, occupied by the Amazonian forest. Ivory Coast is the 3rd largest African coffee producer, just behind Ethiopia and Uganda. With a production of more than 1,470 million 60-kilogram bags of coffee beans for the period between 2021 and 2022, Ivory Coast ranks 15th in the world. Ivory Coast is also the world's leading producer of cashew nuts, with nearly 23% of the world harvest. The mining subsoil of Ivory Coast is full of fabulous treasures, as there are diamonds and gold, but also iron, manganese, bauxite, as well as precious stones used in jewelry, as well as in industry. Cotton is one of Ivory Coast's main crops, with excellent harvest every year, making it one of the largest exporters on the African continent. Sugarcane, pineapple, banana, cashew nuts, and palm oil, as well as mango, papaya, and avocado are the main agricultural exports of Ivory Coast. Soccer is definitely the national sport par excellence, although most of the country's professional clubs lack infrastructure and resources worthy of the name. The national team of Ivory Coast is named the Elephants, in reference to the country's iconic pachyderm. Former Chelsea striker Didier Drogba played for the Ivory Coast team from 2002 to 2014, scoring 65 goals in 106 games and making him the Elephants' top scorer so far. Ivory Coast has twice won the African Cup of Nations, or CAN, in 1992 and 2015, beating Ghana in a penalty shootout each time. The country has also qualified for the finals of the continental competition 23 times. The national team of Ivory Coast is the 5th best African selection of all time, with a prestigious record of 8 medals, 2 gold, 2 silver, and 4 bronze. Handicrafts hold a great place in the life of Ivorians, and we find it in several objects of the common life, such as utensils, statuettes, or masks made of noble materials such as wood or bronze. Some craftsmen work almost exclusively with raffia, rattan, or bamboo to make basketry, sculptures, and even furniture of art of any beauty. The Ihutile Islands National Park is a marine park located on the Abbey Lagoon east of Abidjan and is home to multitude of animal species, including the manatee, an aquatic mammal, and the palmetto, a bat. In Côte d'Ivoire, you can taste the kutuku, also called gabeli, a delicious kind of spirit produced locally and obtained by skillful process of distillation of the wine of different palm trees, including the oil palm, raffia, and the rosé. Of course, the Banji, a popular wine in Côte d'Ivoire obtained from oil palm. Abidjan is the economic capital of Ivory Coast. Ivoire Académie is a sports training center located in Sangan-Dagbi, a village some 30 kilometers from Abidjan. This sports center is almost unique in the world since it contains an authentic aircraft graveyard. Several discarded aircraft, including Boeings, Fokker 28s, and even cargo planes, are stored in the open air in the middle of nowhere. The Ahukra Archaeological Park is an archaeological excavation site located about 150 kilometers from Abidjan and covers an area of 120 hectares. This phantasmagorical place conceals enigmas and mysteries with its unusual shaped stones and its exuberant vegetation. Located in the town of Ayami, a short distance from Aboisso, the Monin Bia Palace is one of the most beautiful buildings in Ivory Coast. This architectural jewel, built on 4 levels, has 7 rooms and a presidential suite of great luxury. The palace also has a large theater, a chapel, and a huge reception hall, without forgetting, of course, the magnificent Garden of Versailles. In the west of the Ivory Coast, there is the city of Man, which has been nicknamed the City of 18 Mountains. This tourist mecca is breathtakingly beautiful, but it is best known for its mysterious liana bridges, which according to legend were all built in one night. One of the most picturesque monuments of Ivory Coast remains without question the Kharura Mosque, located in the north of Ivory Coast. Built around the 17th century by Ouattara Bakaneri, this magnificent place of prayer, still frequented today by believers, is endowed with an architecture, to say the least, disorienting, with its towers and minarets in the form of ogives. The very first 3D animated feature film in West Africa, directed by Ivorian Abel Kaum, this CGI film traces the life of the legendary Ashanti queen Abel Paku and her fight to save the Bali people. The coastal town of Grand Basam is home to some of the most beautiful buildings in Ivory Coast, such as the Governor's Palace, which was prefabricated in France before being assembled and improved in Ivory Coast in 1893. The Rally Ivory Coast Bandama, or RCIB, is a car race organized in Ivory Coast since 1969 and originally created by Jean-Claude Bertrand. This competition became mythical over time, was even incorporated into the World Rally Championship from 1978 to 1992. Ivory Coast participated for the first time in its history in the Olympic Games in 1964. Since then, the country has won 4 medals, 1 in gold, 1 in silver, and 2 in bronze. The only 2 disciplines where Ivorians won were athletics and taekwondo. And that's it for today. What do you think of this fabulous country that is the Ivory Coast and its various characteristics that make it a unique place in the world? Did it make you want to visit it? Tell us in the comments, and if you liked this video, don't forget to put a like and subscribe and activate the notifications. See you soon for new discoveries out of the ordinary.